Political crisis in Rivers. Ex-local government chairman accuses Governor Fubara of ignoring Supreme Court ruling. Former chairman of Akuku-Toru local government area, Honorable Rowland Sekibo, has accused Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara of refusing to implement Supreme Court ruling on the political crisis in the state. Speaking at a press briefing in Port Harcourt on Thursday, Sekibo alleged that Governor Fubara rejected a presidential intervention that could have secured his position and encouraged cooperation with the state assembly. He blamed conflict-preneurs or external influences for worsening tension in the state and influencing the governor's decision. Welcome to Naija Anchor News. I am Faith. Sekibo claimed that individuals and groups linked to the Ijaw ethnic community were attempting to destabilize the state by threatening national oil infrastructure if Fubara were impeached. He specifically named Professor Benjamin Okaba, leader of Ijaw National Congress, and former militant leader Asari Dokubo, accusing them of making inflammatory statements that could endanger Nigeria's energy security. He questioned why the impeachment issue remained unresolved despite the Supreme Court ruling and called the threats baseless. He also criticized Governor Fubara for allegedly inciting discontent over court decision rather than using it to foster peace. According to Sekibo, Fubara's public statements had fueled tension instead of calming them. He urged the governor to refrain from the actions that could lead to his removal and encouraged the Ijaw community to distance itself from the inflammatory rhetoric that could harm their reputation. Calling for a strict enforcement of the Supreme Court ruling, Sekibo urged security agencies, including the police, DSS, and military, to ensure its swift implementation. He emphasized that impeachment is a constitutional mechanism for holding public officials accountable and warned against any attempt to restrain legal processes. He also appealed to Rivers youth, particularly those from the Ijaw ethnic group, to avoid violence and protect lives and property. So before I air my personal opinion on this crisis, we will be digressing a bit into history. On this day in history, in 1984, Susan B. Anthony appeared before the Judiciary Committee of the House of Representatives. Anthony's statement argued for an amendment to the United States Constitution granting women the right to vote. 16 years after the legislature had first introduced a federal women's suffrage amendment. So in regards to the Rivers crisis, the ongoing political battle in Rivers State gives us a broader view on the issue of governance and power struggles in Nigeria's political landscape. Now, if the Supreme Court has ruled on the matter, it is expected that all parties involved respect the decisions. Right now, what they ought to prioritize is peace and stability and should be more concerned about making things go back the way they were. Well, that would be my 2 cents about this issue. We would also love to hear from you, our esteemed listeners. What is your take on this river crisis so far, with the manner in which things are lingered for this long? While we await your comments and opinion, please stay tuned to Naija Anchor News for more updates and trending stories on politics.